Okay, 1C. If you watched the video for 1A and B, you heard me talk about identifying whether something was U-sub. This one is not. I'm going to talk a little bit about why. But remember, U-sub, I have like a function, like a cosine, and then like another function, like so for example, x cubed, and then outside of those guys, I get the derivative of this piece. So that would be like, or a multiple. So for example, if I had 4x squared, I would recognize x squared, derivative of that, blah, 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 right? So what I'm going to do is look for that kind of thing here. So here, I've got my inside function is x, it kind of corresponds with this, and my outside one is root x. Well, the derivative of the inside there, of the x, is 1. And that doesn't show up on its own being multiplied here in the top. Additionally, if I look at the top, if I look at the top here, derivative of that thing's 3, and that doesn't show up anywhere else either. So I can kind of look at this function and tell that it doesn't look like I'm going to use U-sub. So instead of trying to use U-sub, I'm going to use some power rule stuff and try to divide that root x into both of those other two terms. So I'm going to start by writing it as 3x minus 1 over, I'm going to change that to an x to the 1/2 dx. Now some of you may be able to divide that in and say I'm good to go, but what I'm going to do instead is write this as integral of 3x, actually, sorry, too big, integral of 3x minus 1 times x to the negative 1/2 dx. Now what I can do is multiply this in by these two pieces. I can distribute it in. So this is integral of 3 times x. Well, when I multiply that in, I get x to the 1/2. And then when I multiply it in by the negative 1, I get minus x to the negative 1/2. And then it's all dx'd. So this is just a simple power rule with fractions instead of whole numbers. So I just need to bump the powers up by 1. So my x to the 1/2 goes to x to the 3/2. I need to balance my coefficient. I say to myself, well, this would give me a 3/2, right? If I did power rule on this, what do I need? I need it to be a 2, so that when I multiply the power by that, I get my 3 out. Now I'll integrate the x to the negative 1/2. Add 1 to minus 0.5, I get positive 0.5, so it's x to the 1/2. And then it would give me a, when I multiply this out, the negative actually stays there. And then the 1/2, it would give me, if I derived this, it would give me a 1/2. I don't have a number there, so I need to have a 2. You guys are pretty good at figuring out that number. And then I need my plus, I need my plus c. And that's all. You can write it like that. You can write it using square roots and cubes and stuff if you want to. This is totally fine.